going to LA.
Hey, Facebook. What's going on? Do not adjust your television, your video. I am sitting here with Omar Finely.
Glasses boys.
Not finally.
But I am fine.
We're gonna do something a little different this week.
Can you get on my Facebook, by the way?
I'm gonna. Well, we're gonna get set up first, but
yeah,
we're gonna do something a little different. So, my guests that I had lined up, some of them had some issues because of the flooding and the rain. Mm-hmm. So this is going to be a more low key, like we're just chatting for two segments. We got Brian Haldane's going to be playing with us a little bit.
Big B.
Brian has done stand up, right?
Yeah.
I have.
Haven't you?
Mm-hmm. I was supposed to, but it got COVID canceled.
Yeah. We had a whole conversation about that.
No, I've done it once before. Mm-hmm. Very much unintentionally, very much off the cuff.
Did you have fun?
I did.
I
did, and it wasn't half bad. It was more. It wasn't like bits. It wasn't like thought out bits. It was more like setup and punchline from different headlines from up that. It was like doing Weekend Update.
Oh yeah,
but on stage.
Well, that's kind of your. But
that's
fairness,
what I do.
That is what you do.
Right.
That's natural for you.
Yeah, it was, but yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
When they missed though, good God.
Oh man,
it's so different in here. You know what? We're probably going to talk about all this during the show. So
yeah.
So I was going to post on. I was gonna post on Facebook, Ebony and Ivory, like Paul, and Michael, but I feel that's. I'm on Facebook Live right now.
Oh, I mean, we could do Tina and Rick James.
Wait.
Your fire and desire.
Can we talk about Coming to America too?
Oh, I would love to.
So I have so many questions.
Well, hold on. What do you give it a fair out of 10 rating?
So the nostalgic side of me liked it, but
take out the nostalgic side of you, and it
was rough. Well, it was rough.
Out of 10, what would you give it? If
like 4.5, maybe a 5. It wasn't the worst thing. As a standalone movie, it was not as good as Coming to America.
Right. But if you take away Coming to America 1 and you just only saw Coming to America 2, you would give it, you say a 5 out of 10. I have it I got it as a 7, but I would go as low as 6.5. I think it was an okay comedy movie by itself. Putting in all the nostalgia, like you say, it gets up to 7.5 for me.
I was going to say it is a stand because nothing's ever going to be Coming to America again.
Yeah, you can't.
Right.
So, I appreciated Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes kind of stole the show for me.
A little bit.
But I kind of expected that because from Dolomite Is My Name, he stole that movie too. The Netflix movie that Eddie Murphy.
Snipes was in?
Yes, he was in Dolomite Is My Name.
Why am I not remembering him?
Yes. He's the dude.
Why is Wesley Snipes making this huge comeback?
Because he's funny as shit. Only reason why Wesley Snipes got bad off is because he didn't pay his taxes. That's
he made... Okay, so did he do the Nicolas Cage thing where Nicolas Cage started making ridiculous amounts of movies that were just utterly garbage because he had the tax issues? Because you got to figure that Wesley Snipes still demands at least a 6-figure number. Maybe not a 7-figure number, but at least a 6-figure number.
Yeah, for 6 figures, sure. He's a great actor, in my opinion.
All of this needs to be paused until we're rolling because this is going to be good. Because
you have thoughts?
You have thoughts.
There's a Wesley Snipes movie that's not a Wesley Snipes movie, but he's in it. Mm-hmm. And it was based in New Orleans post Katrina. That just as soon as he shows up, he's like, "Why is this guy everywhere?"
Yeah. Speaking of movies in New Orleans, that Russell Crowe movie that's a good movie. I forgot what it's called, but it's basically road rage. And
yes, he has a bad day,
I can't say F on the radio, but whew, that's a good movie. I went and saw that with my whole family. Like my this is like deep quarantine, like not deep quarantine. This is September-ish, maybe August. I flew out to Dallas and, made sure I was like clean, and we rented out a movie theater, and my whole that side of the family, we watched that movie together. And I was like, oh, SH, whatever. That movie was good. Like Russell Crowe was just so disturbingly savage and unhinged in that movie. I think it's called Unhinged.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, that was
kind of like a Falling Down, but with Russell Crowe and less firearms.
That's what it's sounding like.
It was crazy. I don't think he has a gun at all. He's just a crazy man. I mean, there's a scene at like what I guess is like a diner or a Waffle House. It is so incredibly brutal. I was like, I want to watch it again, but I want to watch it with someone who hasn't watched it yet.
So, by the way, speaking of Brian Haldane being right and Franz being wrong.
Wait, when were we ever speaking of this?
Brian had pointed out to me that I was off on my episode count. Mm-hmm. And I discovered the error of my ways. And so this is actually episode 77 and not 76.
Come on.
You're on radio.
75.
Oh, no. I need mustache.
This is 77.
76. This is 77, correct.
Yeah. Everything is right with the world now.
Yes.
I need Elon Musk to boost my Dogecoin up again.
Does it bother you that Elon Musk, who is admittedly a pothead,
correct,
says stuff, just randomly says stuff? Now, they're very educated things, he says, but he says stuff, and that fluctuates the market. He tweets, and it fluctuates the market.
I love it because I put $30 into Dogecoin, and before it just fell, it was worth $800.
How much did it just fall?
I just checked. It's like 35 cents right now. That it was at 69 cents at the end of April.
Okay.
I was loving it, and I almost pulled out, and I was like, I'm gonna hold, stick with it.
It's at 35 cents right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I need to. I've been
you need to sell.
Waiting to get in. No, I've been waiting to get in.
This is the time to get in.
You're gonna long play it.
I know what I'm doing this weekend.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, people are like, oh, put more in. I'm not putting any more in right now because my $30 is rolling really well. Even right now, my $30 is worth like a couple hundred, but it was almost worth $1,000 like 2 weeks ago. If it would have hit like 75 cents, I probably would have pulled out at least half of it because that's just a nice little.
That's money.
That's money. That's a chunk of change.
Yeah.
Like Bitcoin and all that, it's too high for me to really.
No, Bitcoin's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's beyond.
I put like a little bit of money in. I made like $8 off of it. Okay, cool, whatever. But like, because then
I've been researching. It's paralysis by analysis for me. I just cannot get out of the on deck circle and get in the batter's box at all.
So you're not worried though? You think it's going to balance itself back out, or?
Yeah, I think so. It keeps doing. It does it every time it goes up, it'll go down, and then it kind of does this little wiggly thing,
and then it says something,
and then it goes back up.
He did something last week that I thought was absolutely brilliant with getting rid of Bitcoin from buying Teslas.
Yeah.
He started taking Bitcoin to buy Teslas simply to prime the market, get you away from a cash-based car buying experience into a cryptocurrency car buying experience, and then cornered the market on that by saying you can only use my crypto to buy my car.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's doing 4D chess. I'm like, that's why I say I know Dojo is going to go back up.
Yeah.
And again, I put $30 in. I got in. It was the only reason I bought $30 worth of Doge is because I had like dividends coming back in my Robinhood account. And I was like, what can I buy for $2.86? Well, Doge at the time was worth 0.001. It was like less than a cent. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I can buy a lot of this. Hopefully, crypto goes up and then what happens? And then guess what? It did. And then I put a couple more dollars in when it was like at 2 cents.
It's like if you want to fly coach on SpaceX, you're going to have to pay Doge.
Yeah.
So I know. Think of that. That's a 10-year play right there.
Yeah.
I like that.
And Omar's going to be a millionaire. All right, y'all ready to roll?
Yeah, let's do this.
All right, stand by.
Ready.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Geaux Rouge Radio Show. This is your host, Franz Borkhardt. We are at the Talk 107.3 studios. If you're listening on Facebook Live or you're listening on the radio, welcome to the show. In studio today, I have Omar Finely and I have Brian Haldane, who are going to be my co-hosts, if you will. You can't see Brian on Facebook. Well, you could.
No, you can't, because if I put myself up
Right.
there, I'd be popped on top of
So
Omar.
before we jump into the show, I've got before we jump into the show and before we talk about the show sponsors, I've got something to talk about. So I had a great show lined up today, and then Baton Rouge experienced some good old-fashioned flooding.
Yeah.
And so some of the folks I had lined up just couldn't be here. Some of the folks I had lined up just felt like me, where it was like, man, do I even need to do a radio show this week? I canceled my Knockout Tuesday show, which was when the storm really was hitting, at Sullivan's. So we are going to just have a light, fun, laid-back show. Brisk, yes. But before we do that, and look,
Omar, hang on. How you feeling? He didn't have a good show. He's got us.
Well, hold on.
Right?
I was just about to say, Omar's been a regular on my show before.
I'm a regular, you know.
So
I feel honored.
Brian,
I feel like I'm a what they call it, a pinch hitter or whatever.
You're
When
pinch hitter?
Yeah, you bring me in when you need the guns.
So
Six man.
Yeah, six.
So if you're watching on Facebook Live, we need topics. Before we jump into the show, if you want more information about the Geaux Rouge Radio Show, you can go to www.geauxrouge.com. And I'd like to take a second to thank our show sponsors. These are the men and women, the businesses that make the Geaux Rouge Show possible. First and foremost, we have Sullivan's Steakhouse, your neighborhood steak restaurant. Some of the best happy hour specials in Baton Rouge. Cocktails are great food, great dining, super laid back and casual. So Sullivan's Steakhouse, La Divina Italian Cafe, open every day with your custom made from scratch breakfasts. Hot coffee, hot tea. I love gelato. Oh, gelato.
I love La Divina, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that's my staple, right? So the Borkhardt Law Firm, the finest criminal defense law firm in the universe.
Yes.
See, no dispute there.
Yeah.
Because if the poop hit the fan, Omar, I know who you'd call.
I would call you.
Not Brian Haldane. You're calling Franz Borkhardt.
Call Franz Borkhardt.
Right.
That's.
And then last but not least, Dr. Gunja Reina with MD VIP at Heal 360. Concierge Medical Services. I love her to death. I am 5 pounds away, thanks to her help and the help of Fresh Junkie, 5 pounds away of thoroughly beating Brian Haldane in the Fat Boy 50. Even with bruised ribs, Brian, I'm losing weight. Even with bruised ribs, I'm losing weight. You know how I bruised my ribs?
I'm not closing the gap. I'm staying because I'm 15 away. I'm staying that 10-point gap I can't make up.
I'd like to tell you that I bruised my ribs hunting big game.
We can go with that.
No,
you were
I
planning
fell,
you on
I
the Oregon
fell
Trail.
out of a tub, landed on my rib cage, fell out of a tub.
Man, that is
It was
unfortunate.
and I was like, the dog comes in and licks me, and then the dog looks at me and is like, "Well, good luck," and then runs away.
Oh, no.
It was painful. It was painful.
You
Literally,
have your own little Medi Alert commercial going on.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
That's why they got those little shelf shower seats. You know, you can get one of those.
So I invited Omar to be here
I'm
today.
quitting
Brian.
on life if I ever get one of those. By the way.
Oh yeah,
Why?
that's over. I'm out.
You ever been
A
to
shower
spa?
seat?
They have spas that have like the shower seats, man.
That's a spa.
I
Like,
don't.
you have
Hey,
to be there a while.
sometimes I sit down in the shower.
No.
It's just fun. It's like your own personal waterfall.
So, wow.
I'll get
So
one. Hey,
I
put me in,
was
coach.
recently at the Baton Rouge Improv Fest, which, by the way, was an international festival. They had
Yes.
folks from different countries, different places around the United
Shout
States.
out to Brett Duggan. He did a great
Yes.
job, and thank you so very much for letting me host. a couple
Yeah.
of the
So
shows.
so I attended the Improv Fest both virtually and in person, and I saw that Omar was hosting. And so I thought, Omar's hosting. And then I found out Omar's going through some life stuff.
Yes.
Good life stuff, not bad life stuff. He's not having surgeries to change his identity.
You need to fall in the shower.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No. I would be Olivia. That would be.
That would be what you go with? I'd be Francine.
Yeah. Or I could be a Zoe. I think I'm a good Zoe.
I would recommend Zoe. Like,
Yeah.
why is it got to stick with the same first letter?
You know, I just like to be in. O is a cool letter.
I mean, if you were to go through all that and completely swap out everything and keep the same first letter, that it seems like you're not going all the way to the finish line.
You know what, Brian? You're right. I'm Zoe. I'm
There
Zoe.
you go.
That's my other ego.
And
the
you're
men-
Natalia.
For the men, women, and other for the men, the women, and the other identifying human beings out there that found the just aforementioned discussion offensive, we at the Geaux Rouge Show apologize.
That's why my pronouns are who, me?
Yeah. He, she, he, him, all that. Anyway, so Omar was hosting the Improv Fest. And Omar, for those who don't know, is one of the key comedy figures in Baton Rouge. Co-owner of No Show Company.
Founder of No Show,
Comedy. Omar, what's been going on, man?
A lot. Trying to navigate the comedy waters during COVID has been tricky, but recently, some big news for me. I am actually going to be moving to Los Angeles.
No big deal. He's L.A. He's California, baby.
Yeah. I mean, it's something I just couldn't,
So what's got you moving there?
Friends, really. Friends who were like, hey, come out. We got you. We got you a place to stay. You don't have to worry about anything. And I was like, okay, I'm going. That's something you just can't, at this time in my life, I can't.
Have you done any comedy shows yet in L.A.?
I've been to comedy shows out in L.A. Haven't done any, but I am booked June 3rd.
Dang, man.
June 3rd, June 17th, and then those are LA shows. One is with Jasmine Ellis, who is a great friend of mine. She's from Austin, Texas. She has a dry bar special out, and now she's relocated out there. And then the other one's, I think, in Long Beach. And then July 1st, I'm in Colorado Springs. I'm probably going to do a little Colorado run.
So when you travel to these places,
Yeah.
is that a part of the fee to hire you to get to the gig? Or is that just you assume that and you're like, hey, this is a vacated Colorado Springs for a couple of days? And
It depends. It depends on the show.
Well, so I would also imagine that being able to put on your resume, hey, I've been in L.A., I've been in California, I've been in Colorado, I've done Louisiana. That also, I imagine, helps.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Don't be mistaken. If I handle a case in California, Franz Borchardt not only does criminal defense in Louisiana, but also Cali, baby.
Yeah. It proves that you're funny, not just to people who know you. And when they see that you've been X, Y, and Z, they're like, oh, okay. And like you said, some shows do. They're like, hey, we got your room and board. You just got to figure out your travel.
And then you get to see how much they care about you. Because if your room and board is like Motel 6,
yeah.
And if your travel is like, train or Greyhound.
Yeah.
You ever ridden a Greyhound to get to a gig?
Man, I rode Greyhound one time. My car was in the shop, and I had to go back home to Shreveport.
Oh,
and
man, I'm sorry.
I got on the Greyhound, and there was like 3 people in front of me who had legitimately gotten out of prison that night, and they were going home too. And it was the most awkward bus ride ever because they were just swapping prison stories. And I was like, I'm 20. I don't have any stories like this.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I swore I would never ride the bus.
Omar's like, popcorn? Or like, am I going to be okay on this bus?
Well, no, well, of course he's going to be okay. When are they going to be on their best behavior?
Yeah, on the
bus. Mean, they're not relapsing 5 minutes out the joint. Like that.
Yeah.
Have you ever ridden a Greyhound before?
What? Yes, I actually have.
People are doing 8 balls.
Not the guys he's talking about.
No. Yeah, they were on their best behavior, but it scared the living crap out of me. So I was like, no more. Trains, I do trains a lot.
Okay, so
Amtrak.
So having, and I want to transition a little bit because so you moving to LA are we still going to have No Show Comedy?
Yes,
as we appreciate it and love it.
We'll see. I'm still trying to figure all that out, and that's been the biggest hurdle for the pandemic.
And for those who don't know, No Show, you did open mic,
we did
comedy
open
nights, you did comedy shows,
stand-up comedy showcases.
Yeah. So Brian,
a little improv too, just FYI.
Yeah, a little
improv. We had a little improv show.
So I like the open mic nights. I did a few of the open mic nights. You did some charity work.
Yes.
So comedy in Baton Rouge right now in COVID is weird.
Super weird.
Right. So like if I wanted to go to a comedy show this weekend, I don't know that I could.
Cannot.
Yeah. So and we're that kind of leads me into my next topic, which is okay. So you hosted an improv fest. Part of it was virtual.
Yes.
I went one of the nights.
Friday night?
Yeah, Friday night, and it had how many people in the room? Maybe 25? 25-ish.
30?
It felt weird. It felt really weird, Brian. Everybody was kind of distant.
Why?
It was okay. Well, first of all, it was in the library, the downtown library, which is a beautiful venue.
It's a great space.
So you're worried it's going to fall on top of you the whole time. That's
not on top of me.
Well,
but
we were going to ride it down.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
We're on the 4th floor.
Oh.
I like to live dangerously.
Sorry, don't care how long the buildings be there. I'm just going to be bitter for the rest of my life.
Do you remember that time they remember that time we built a library and then like they were worried about it collapsing, and so they put like little wee jacks,
hydraulic jacks.
Hydraulic jacks.
We got to say for over a year that our library was literally jacked up.
Yeah,
It was a really fun time. Fun time to be alive in
So
VR.
the event was more so weird because I think not having been in an in-person event for so long,
Yeah.
I felt like I think I wore a mask the entire time. It felt weird because it was like there's this element of, is it okay that I'm here? By the way, I'm vaccinated. Like, yeah, I'll probably have to get a booster shot at some point, or I'll grow a horn and an eyeball in my eye, in my forehead because of the vaccination side effects. But for right now, I feel okay. I feel okay. I mean, what are the odds of you contracting the virus if you've been vaccinated? Because that's me. I've had it. I've been vaccinated from it. So like, I'm like, you better bring kryptonite.
Yeah, no, totally.
You're double good.
It begs the question: if I can get it after getting vaccinated, what's the point of me getting it? So yes, that's something that we're going to be dealing with for a few months now before everything just completely settles down.
Yeah. But the uncanny valley that you're talking about, where it's like, should I be allowed to be here, is something that like I've noticed a lot of people. Granted, when we first started doing the open mics again, that's something that people were battling, and comics were too. Me at the Improv Festival, I thought it was a very fun time. I think they did a very good job of having the virtual and the live in person comedy and improv kind of marry each other pretty well. Partially because they had a great host. But
You look like you were making it up as you went along.
I was.
Improv.
It was improv.
See what I did there?
Improv.
Well played.
Improv. Yeah, but I'm good at doing that.
So what was interesting? Okay, so I used to go to movies. I can't tell you the last time I went to a movie. And candidly, there's not any movies out right now. What was I going to go to the movie theater for Wonder Woman 1984?
Don't. That movie's trash.
I don't know.
That movie is
I don't
hot
know.
garbage.
Baton Rouge movie
Coming to America too.
Was that in the theaters?
I don't know, but I found an opening
So-
for that segue to call back on what we were doing before the show.
That was a god awful movie.
It was not god awful. It
Wasn't God wonderful?
wasn't god wonderful.
All right,
I laughed.
I'm gonna put. Hold on. I want to put Coming to America 2 on the back burner for a second.
Sure.
Because we're going to devote some time to this one.
Okay.
Yeah,
because I have things to talk about on that one.
Because I just rewatched all of Beverly Hills Cops, all that. It's like
Axel, right?
Axel Foley.
Were
Foley.
any of
Today's Judge Reinhold's birthday, by the way.
So
no way.
Seriously.
So were the plot
Also Mr. T's birthday, but that's not
I
related.
pity that.
So the plot. Okay, we're just going to go here. The plot of any Eddie Murphy movie. Think of an Eddie Murphy movie where you were like, this was a really good plot. Golden Child? No. Daddy Daycare?
Wait, hold on. Take that in the time that it came out, though.
Okay.
You can't look at the Golden Child through today's lens. That's like 88, 89-ish?
Yeah.
Was Coming to America a great plot? No. A great movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I disagree.
Yes.
Trading Spaces was a great movie.
Trading Spaces is a show about rehabbing a bedroom.
I'm sorry, Trading
Places.
Yeah,
is different.
But wasn't Trading Places based on another historical, like Prince and the Pauper kind of thing? I don't know.
Nature versus Nurture was the
Latimer
Genesis
brothers,
of the bet, but
the
yeah.
Latimer brothers, who also made a cameo in
Coming to
America.
Yes.
Correct.
All I'm
We're
gonna
back.
all I'm gonna say is
Randolph and Mortimer.
Wesley Snipes.
Yes.
For me, Wesley Snipes made if there is an argument for Coming to America 2 being a sound movie.
Yes.
Wesley Snipes was that person. Wasn't Arsenio, who I loved in Coming to America, the first one, the original.
Yeah.
I mean, Eddie Murphy getting dressed up.
Eddie Murphy you're never going to get less than a B+ performance out of him.
Oh, I agree. I watched Norbit the other day.
Norbit is a funny movie.
Yeah.
I hate that I love Norbit.
Yeah,
My mom used to say, used to want to slide down the slide? She can slide down the slide. That was her like favorite line from that movie, and I love it. But that's not a good plot. It's just Eddie Murphy being fantastically great at what he does for.
So I like Nutty Professor.
Yes.
Which was based off of a Jerry Lewis movie.
Yeah, I liked Nutty Professor.
I love Nutty Professor.
Were the Beverly Hills Cop movies really that good?
I thought so.
I just rewatched them. They're good.
What was
the second one with
48 Hours with Nick Nolte?
Yes, also a great plot as well.
What's the lady's name? She's the wife in Rocky IV, but she's in
Brigitte Nielsen.
That's her name?
Yeah.
The blonde, the
she
tall
was
blonde?
married to
Flava Flav.
She was married to Flavor Flav?
You can make me look this up. I'm pretty
Flavor
sure.
Flav.
I think she
Flavor
did
Flav?
So
stuff
I only
with
know
Mary.
this because of the Flava Flav roast on Comedy Central a few years ago. So
I bet you being married to Flavor Flav was an absolute treat.
It's him. Who else would be just like an insane time to be like with a person like him?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy Osbourne.
People
Lil
that had,
Wayne.
people that have messed their brain up based on
Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman.
Oh wow.
Dennis Rodman.
Wow.
You look at his resume. Like he was with Carmen Electra. Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Did you watch The Last Dance when he was talking about what he had to do? He was like, "There's like all right in The Last Dance, the documentary that came out, just talking about Michael Jordan's last championship with the Bulls. There's a whole segment where Dennis Rodman basically is like, yeah, sometimes and you know how he talks. He's like, sometimes I have to, get the, clear the mind out. And so he just like left in the middle of a playoff series and goes to Vegas on a bender. And Michael Jordan had to fly and drag him back. And he's just like talking about doing coke and all this stuff.
Wasn't Rodman also like uncomfortably close with a Korean dictator?
He is.
He is.
He is. He is.
I do like the fact that you say was and you say is. Like that's not past tense. That's still a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're still cool.
Brigitte Nielsen was married to Flava Flav.
Less than a year. Less than a year.
Well, this is.
I'm gonna say 16 months.
Hang on. It says partners. Okay, not spouse, partners. Flava Flav, 2005. Mark Gastineau, 88 to 90.
So let's talk Baton Rouge.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
All right. So here's my question.
Okay.
We're gonna do some forecasting. I have been approached. So I am a fantastic criminal defense attorney.
You're the best.
Thank you. I am a sometimes event organizer, charity event organizer.
Sometimes.
Hashtag Wingamania. Hashtag Mac and Cheese Fest. I've done a brunch fest too. Baton Rouge Brunch Fest. TM. So here's my thing. I've been approached about doing the Wingamania for a third time. We did it right before the pandemic. In fact, we did the Wingamania, and then I think shortly thereafter we went to lockdown, right?
I want to say it was
like a month.
Was it the Thursday before?
Yeah.
It was way closer than. Yeah, it was like the Thursday before we went to. I can pull this up.
So-
I actually
I thought
still- 'cause
Wingamania
I
was
DJ'd
February
it. It should be in my
20
calendar.
I thought it was like 26 or something
So,
like that.
so the segue is I want to talk about tone deaf, being tone deaf. So, like for example, if I were to do an in-person large-scale event right now, would the guidelines prohibit me from doing it, Brian?
No.
I mean, I think
No.
I could do it, and in fact,
you
I
can do
think
it.
if it were outdoor and you were vaccinated, you don't even have to wear a mask.
Correct. And people would flock to it.
And if it were, are there people limitations?
No.
Yeah. Would I get blowback though?
No.
Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
It was a week and a day before. It was
All right.
March 5th of 2020.
Do you?
We
You're
went
saying,
lockdown on the
Omar?
15th.
You're saying that you don't think I'd get blowback for doing a large scale wing festival? No. And by the way, for those listening, wing events are wing festivals. Don't think New Orleans Wing Festival. We probably have about 400-ish foot traffic, 500-ish. But that is over because you go and you get your wings and then you kind of leave. It's not like a jazz fest where or it's not like Fried Chicken Fest in New Orleans where they run out of fried chicken. Hashtag Popeyes. What's the Popeyes thing? They're out of fried chicken.
Spicy will be ready in 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah. So you don't think I'd get blowback?
No, I don't.
What do you think the response would be?
I think the response would be, it's time. People, like I said, people are clamoring.
Thank you, Brian Haldane. That sign was brought to us by the folks over at Rebel Graphics, right?
Yeah, Rebel Graphics.
Yeah.
But no, I think you would. Everyone is they're fatigued about the pandemic. Let's just be honest. People are fatigued about it, and I think from my personal experience, like running and being at shows, because I've been to New Orleans, I've been to Texas, I've done events everywhere now. Within the last like three months, explicitly, people are just tired. They're like, hey, as long as I got my mask on and we can do this, they're gonna go. Even my grandparents are kind of like,
Man,
this is
do you remember though how people were at the beginning though? Where
At the
it was
beginning,
almost like a cancel culture thing where
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, this person's having a party at their neighborhood house. Let me expose them.
yeah, that's not
Completely different world now.
It's people. It's
There's Zoom fatigue.
yeah. There's Zoom fatigue. People are tired of that. So I think
Well, you cannot do a virtual wing event.
no.
I want to.
I don't know how you
couldn't.
even do
Well,
it. You have to partner with Uber Eats or
So what
Waiter.
what we talked about was doing so these events are charity events for me. But what we talked about was organizing 20, 30 restaurants that do wings, having a wing special at each restaurant, and the restaurants donating a percentage of each wing or meal tab, like I did with the brunch charity events I used to do. That would work. But it's not the same. Like at the Wingomania event, you get like, what was it, 30 to 40 wings?
Yep.
Thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah, and different two wings for each booth. And we didn't really police the whole if you wanted more, because candidly, if you could eat more than 40,
Right.
good for you.
I'm like a 10-piece guy, and I'm out.
Well, that's the hard thing. That's the hard thing about the event is if you have 15 to 20 competitors, it's almost not fair to the number 20th wing, because by the time you eat the 20th wing, you're like, I don't want wings anymore.
Correct.
So you're listening to the Geaux Rouge Show. This is kind of different for us. We've got Omar in the house with No Show Comedy, as well as Brian Haldane from Talk 107.3. This is Franz Borkhardt. We're about to hit our first break. This is a special bad weather edition of the Geaux Rouge Show. This is a special I fell and I couldn't get up and bruised my ribs edition of the show. By the way, we're going to be recording on Fridays now. So Fridays at 11 are going to be kind of our new recording time. We're going to take our first break. Stick around on Facebook Live. There's one person on Facebook Live right now. Stick around on Facebook Live. We will be right back.
Awesome.
Okay, we're still good on Facebook Live.
So yeah, that's another thing. So I'm not going to blame this new video camera.
Yeah.
I'm not going to blame the poor content that I produce.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take responsibility for it. Have you noticed the numbers weirded out a little bit since you've gotten this camera? Are you averaging?
It's about it predates the camera by about 3 weeks. I've noticed that everything on Facebook has downgraded greatly.
New algorithm, maybe?
I think there's a new algorithm, and I think it's once again punishing anything that's connected with a news format like this, or a talk format like this.
So I shared. So I used to do. So when we were doing Zoom episodes, I would air from my Facebook Live on Geaux Rouge. Geaux Rouge has about 24,000 likes, follows, whatever that means. Of those engaged watchers of the show, I would average somewhere between 1,500 to 2,500 views on a bad episode. And when I say bad, I mean a lower viewed episode. And then LSU came on, and I got 11,000 views.
Yeah.
Before they fiddled with the algorithm, I had
Wait, views or reach?
views.
Okay.
Before they fiddled with the algorithm, when I was first playing with Facebook, I did a Leading BR episode on the Geaux Rouge Show where I interviewed the founder of the Greater Baton Rouge Chess Academy, Ryan, and that had like. It definitely had 5-figure views. I didn't have to boost it and all this.
Yeah.
This new iteration of the algorithm, if you don't boost, it's
all pay to play. It's all pay to play.
Yeah. Well, and candidly, look, this is a radio show first or a podcast that happens to also play on Facebook Live that I put on YouTube. So, anyways, we're gonna get Facebook Live. The one person watching on Facebook Live, which may be me. It actually may be. I'm watching on Facebook Live. It may be that I'm the only
What's
one.
amazing, though, is, okay, so something's definitely off there, because I'm also watching on Facebook Live. And neither you nor I are Nancy, who commented earlier. So
Hey, Nancy. Hey,
how
girl.
can we physically have one person watching when there's at least 2 of us in the room?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
that doesn't make sense.
Well, we're going to come back to our second
Nancy?
half.
I'm gonna like it.
Did you share it? Did you share it at all?
I'm about to. I was waiting for the tag. You just tagged me, and then it was like not showing me the diddly do. Share.
I'm so tired.
And
So school being out also throws a curveball for me because I've got Fisher at the office right now, and try getting work done when you have your 5-year-old running around, Captain Destructo.
I mean, there's only so much Paw Patrol and
He plays a
the Monster
Nintendo
Machine.
Switch and he watches Disney Plus.
Okay.
And at some
a
point,
man of culture. A man.
I can't watch
culture.
Blue anymore, guys. I cannot watch Bluey anymore.
Oh, dude, my brother when he was that
Although
age.
good content. Bluey's good content.
Love Bluey.
Oh, y'all remember the movie Bolt?
Yes.
Yeah.
My little brother when he was around 6 years old. I mean, I watched it I was clocking in 2, maybe 3 times a day. I had to watch Bolt. I can't stand that dumb dog anymore. I think that's Miley Cyrus is like the voice of the heroine in the thing.
And John Travolta is the dog. Right?
Yeah. Can't stand it. And it was a good movie. It has very good laughs. Can't catch me watching it ever again. Happy feet.
Oh, now we have 5 views. There it is. All right, let's do the intro, 2-minute intro. Then we'll come back and we'll talk some more about events in Baton Rouge.
All right, killing the mic. Stand by.
All right, welcome to the second half of the Geaux Rouge radio show. This is your host, Franz Borkhardt. If you're listening on Facebook Live, if you're listening on Talk 107.3, welcome back to episode 77. This is our flooding episode. This is our, man, we've had nothing but bad weather all week in Baton Rouge. There's been some flooding. We've had friends of ours that have lost stuff, like Sarah Gardner. Shout out to Sarah Gardner. She, batch baking. Oh, man. And she handled it like a champ, man.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because we're so desensitized now to it. Because, like the first flood, people were like, now maybe also, and I'm very careful how I say this, Brian. If you lose your house because of flooding, it doesn't matter to you whether or not everybody loses their house or if 5 people lose their house. You're in the same boat. What I think we are is we are more accepting of the fact that we are going to have flooding. Mm-hmm. That's another political conversation for another day. Why we still have flooding?
But why is it a political conversation?
I don't know.
You want to stop flooding?
Infrastructure and the way that we build.
How do we stop flooding, Brian?
So you don't.
You don't.
What happened Monday night? Look, I am as much of a Republican as the day is long. Okay, and I will argue with Democrats all day long. This is nothing. What happened Monday night? I had to ride the storm out sitting in my car in a Walgreens parking lot.
Were you by yourself?
Yeah. My daughter,
because the street was flooded?
Yes, Sherwood and Coursey flooded really quickly, but the subdivision behind Sherwood and Coursey, Parkview Oaks, is where you'll find the Brighton School, which was where my daughter was at basketball practice. I was trying to pick her up for 9 o'clock. I couldn't get in the subdivision. So I was like, well, let me pull in this parking lot. Surely this will subside. Surely the water will go back down and I can get back there. An hour later, I'm saying, surely this will subside. 3 hours later, surely this will subside. By 1:30 in the morning, I'm like, it ain't going nowhere. She's just gonna have to bunk out in the gym overnight. So what came down Monday night over the course of a good 6.5, 7 hours of not rain, that was a pour.
It was just pouring.
Well, so we're gonna go here for a second, but first, before we continue this conversation, I need to thank our show sponsor. These are the men and women, the businesses that make the Geaux Rouge Show possible. And by the way, if you want more information, Omar, about the Geaux Rouge Show, you go to www.GeauxRouge.com. I have my own GeauxRouge.com.
GeauxRouge.com.
I had to buy it from somebody that sat on it, and I paid way more than I wanted to for it, but I'm so glad and satisfied I have it.
Super smart, though.
Well, it worked out okay. It's paid for itself. But our show sponsors, the Borkhardt Law Firm, criminal defense law firm, that's my law firm. The La Divina Italian Cafe, serving select wines, ice cold beer, plus their exclusive sorbet mimosas. Can a dude order a sorbet mimosa? I feel like a dude could. That's not a girly drink, right?
No.
It's not like a...
It sounds delicious.
It's not a Cosmo. Can I order a Cosmo?
I don't like Cosmos.
That's not what I asked.
Yeah.
So anyways...
You can order it. It's a free word.
So Dr. G, Dr. Gunja Rina, MD VIP from Heal 360. And last but not least, Sullivan Steakhouse, your neighborhood steak restaurant. Yes, sir.
You're all tense in the first segment about talking about gender fluidity, but when it comes to ordering a drink, that's where we have to really define lines between men and women.
So my question becomes:
I love my
is there an So the listeners know this already. I don't drink anymore. However, is there a drink that is gender specific?
No.
Or have we gotten to a point in our history where you can order whatever drink you want to drink? If Omar wants a chocolate martini with the chocolate rim and the chocolate martini in a chocolate glass, Everybody's okay with that, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's calling that the question. If you want a White Russian, nobody's calling that out.
Nope. One of my good friends who's a comic, he orders Long Island iced teas all the time.
Ooh, Long Island iced. Ooh, let me tell you.
That's a bad hangover.
That's
a great drink, but a bad hangover.
His words are, I like
So
to do
much
hood
sugar.
rat stuff. I like to be ratchet. I like to drink and do things. That's him.
So
Sam I am.
Is it? Can you say hood rat and Long Island iced tea in the same sentence? So, like, skip gender.
No.
Let's
Yeah.
go straight.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey,
So-
hey, he does it. I
Okay.
love the
So
man.
I
Love
used
the
to
man.
be. So I, as you know, I was a whiskey, bourbon, and Scotch guy. But before all that, I wanted the sugariest drink on the planet, and I would sit there when I was in law school, 2004, 2005. I'd sit in my living room with a Portugal cup from Portugal, New Orleans, best burger in
in
Louisiana.
the world.
I would take a whole bunch of ice, put the ice in there. I would take a bottle of amaretto and a bottle of sour and just start pouring. And I would do 2 or 3 of those. And it was so sugary. My diabetes, I could feel it just like pluming. But like for me, I was okay with any kind of, well, one, I had a problem. So drinking was never an issue for me. But like there never was a moment where I was like, I want a chocolate martini or I want a Cosmopolitan. There were moments where beer actually was the one drink I didn't like drinking. Beer was the drink I was like, I just never, and by the way, people who are into beers, the beer culture is more snobby than the wine culture.
Yeah.
True story.
No, I know.
Get Chuck P. start talking about beer for a second.
No, I know. I like, triple IPAs think double IPAs are lazy.
Yeah.
That's
So, since this is a show that celebrates everything in Baton Rouge, let's go back to Baton Rouge for a second.
sure.
Baton Rouge.
So, Omar, we were talking first half of the show, we were talking about events in Baton Rouge again
Yes.
and kind of forecasting. How do you think this unplays? Or how do you think this unpacks? How do you think we start getting back to events? And Brian, I want your opinion on this one too, because you've worked some events, you've helped promote some events.
Yes.
We'll start with Omar. How do you see us going kind of forward?
I think there's going to be a little bit of people are going to start doing large scale events, a couple times, right before everything everyone's going to be kind of, oh, is this good or whatever, but people are going to come out no matter what. And then as soon as LSU football starts, people are going to not give a damn.
Doesn't LSU football doesn't a large scale sporting event that is the emblem though, right?
No, it absolutely. What the emblem of what?
Well, of that we're not trying anymore. Like there is no need. Not that there's a need to try anymore. I'm just saying that social distancing is gone.
Yeah.
100% capacity in Tiger Stadium, social distancing, yes, you could say is gone. But a couple things, and I'm glad you brought up LSU because last Saturday I went to Alex Box Stadium.
How was that?
Fantastic. The second you hear "Go Tigers," it's like it has been so long. I didn't realize how much I missed it until I heard it. Like that, like little things that used to get on my nerves at ball games, I longed for and missed. Like it was. I mean, LSU lost to Bama 6-5, but that's neither here nor there. It was the experience. But here's the thing, though. You got to remember, you're talking about two different scales of event, regardless of size. The two different scales are outdoor versus indoor. I felt completely at home in Alex Box Stadium, and there was no.
Did you have a mask on the entire time?
No, I didn't bring a mask.
Anybody wearing a mask?
No.
Yeah.
No, but outdoors.
Okay. So outdoor. Let's go outdoor events first. I think everything's up for grabs for outdoor events.
Yes.
You got beautiful spaces like Point Marie. You got beautiful spaces like Tin Roof. You got beautiful spaces, green
North
spaces.
Boulevard Town Square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got beautiful open spaces that people don't have to be all up on top of each other. You can wear a mask if you want to wear a mask. By the way, I'm not a fan of mask shaming. If somebody's wearing a mask and you want to shame them, leave that at home, man. I don't get.
What about the other way around? Inside.
So we're now to a point that, hold on, wait.
Yeah,
we're
okay.
still talking outside.
Okay.
We're to a point now that you do not have to wear a mask outside if you meet a certain criteria.
Or inside.
If you meet a certain criteria. Okay.
Yeah.
So inside events, I think we're still going to have a slow, gradual progress. I don't think you're going to see the same, like Best Dressed Ball is happening. I think you're going to have like different iterations of in-person events, but like your large-scale LaBerge events like that we've come to enjoy, I think that's going to be more gradual. I think it's going to be gradual for a few different reasons. One, people and their financial means to actually support these events.
That's a big thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outdoor and indoor, if you have outside catering involved or outside volunteer restaurants involved, where are they getting the staff to support these events? Because staffing is a huge issue right now.
It is. And you mentioned L'Auberge. L'Auberge has more than 40 jobs available right now on BRAC's website. Go to BR Works and look up jobs that are available. I actually looked up hospitality this morning because the governor happened to mention.
Thinking about going into hospitality?
No. The governor said he didn't want to remove the supplemental unemployment because the hospitality industry isn't back up and running. So I went and looked up how many jobs were available, more than 6,600 throughout the state of Louisiana. But I noticed L'Auberge had like 40 posts at least.
Gotcha.
So yeah, staffing. Yeah. They're having trouble just like everybody else.
And that's an issue for another day.
My events are generally 15 to 20 restaurants or caterers that are volunteering to help raise money for charity, and they generally have 2 to 3 people out in their 10 by 10 tents.
Right.
If they can't support that, they're not going to volunteer for it, and I can't have an event. I think financial constraints are going to be there. I think also people's prioritization of charity for charity events. Prioritization, not being that they don't want to give to charity, but what is important to them may have shifted a little bit in the last year to 2 years.
Meaning they would look for a different charity,
for example, cancer sucks. We may still want to fight cancer, but I would bet that the contributions to the arts-oriented charities, is probably down. You probably have down across the board. People have, for example, this week you've been seeing the GoFundMe for the flooding, and most of that is, hey, I have flood insurance, but I got to pay a $2,000 or $3,000 deductible. I need help, and people are raising money for that.
Yeah.
You know, I think there's going to, Brian, you're giving me a look. I think there's going to be a reprioritization of what is or isn't a priority in terms of my charitable contribution.
No, there's like a Maslow's hierarchy of giving, I guess.
Yeah.
Is like, will this save a life versus will this help someone explore their own possibilities? Like, I could see that, definitely.
I think you're going to have that as a deterrent. I think you're going to have, I use L'Auberge. I've gone to so many great events in L'Auberge. I've gone to great events in the River Center. I've gone to great events at the
Baton Rouge Library. Dude, there's that danger component there, man.
I'm telling you.
Is the building going to fall down while I'm in it? I don't know, man. Maybe it is. Maybe
I uncorked that and no one's stopping it.
Hey, the Terrace is a great place though. Oh, there.
That is so for first of all, the cost of that space is very reasonable. If you do a charity event at the library, or if you do a free event at the library, I don't know that they really charge you that much. They may charge you for the security, but like the Goodwood Library, great place to have an event.
Love the Goodwood Library.
Great place to have an event,
indoor or outdoor.
Right. So I think my point is we're in the summer. We're in the summer outdoor. This is the time to have outdoor events, right? You know, are we going to see holidays with Junior League of Baton Rouge the way we've seen holidays in the past? Maybe, I don't know. You know, but are people going to be ready to go to those things?
Holidays is a different thing though, because you're talking about the vendors who need
a market.
The extra sales as well. Yes, absolutely. Holidays, I think that's a no-brainer to me, because the venue is going to be looking for something to fill the venue.
Yeah.
The nonprofit is going to be looking to get their calendar back in order, and the merchant is going to be looking to reintroduce themselves to the market in a new and different way. So even if admission is down from where it was in the past, you're talking about sales that aren't walking through the front door or haven't walked through the front door for the last 15 months.
True. That's true. Yeah. And we've been doing farmers market. The farmers market in Baton Rouge is happening.
I've been to the Mid-City Makers Market, and it was popping.
It made me it was popping, and it was wonderful. I went to the one where it was at the depot. I don't know if it still will be at the depot or not.
No, the last one was at Circa.
That's a good venue for
outdoors.
Yeah. So it made me a little nervous because of the volume of people, but we were still transitioning. So I have anxiety. Large crowds, period. I have anxiety, which is weird because I put on large events,
weird
right?
for you.
Yeah. That's kind of.
Oh no, but I've always said that though. Large crowds of people and loud noises give me trigger me. That being said, the Makers event, I got there super early. I did 2 laps around, bought some stuff. It was wonderful. There was music, there was food. So my favorite, besides of course La Divina Italian Cafe, besides them serving custom made from scratch breakfasts daily, I hang out a lot at the Electric Depot, and I hang out at City Roots.
Yes, I love City Roots.
I do Baru a lot. That green space, that open space, beautiful. and if they can do something with Red Stick Social. Well, okay, you're saying that, is it because of the culture behind it, the history behind it, or do you think that we could salvage that space?
How much time we got?
We got 10 minutes.
9 minutes.
9 minutes. 9 minutes. All right.
No, I don't think putting a bowling alley in that building was a good idea.
No,
But in terms of potential restaurant space,
I think it actually. Here's the thing. I think all the stuff that they had were good ideas. I think it was poorly executed, and not. This is before the culture. The building in the space itself, I think, was a great idea. I know some of the architects who worked on it. They're brilliant people, and I just think when you walk into the space, it is not. And when you have those kind of spaces, you go to bigger cities and stuff like that. They're social events, right? People are supposed to flip from one thing to another. That space is not meant for that. It's very compartmentalized, and then you just a lot of stuff that's like in there that's cool, but they don't fit together at the right way. Well, and so, like for me, especially as a performer, like I go into that space, I was like, I never want to perform here. Where's my that's like because of the audience. There's no. So centralized thing.
Let me ask a follow-up question.
There's nothing to corral anybody. Yeah, I haven't thought about it from the stage presence standpoint.
So whether or not it was a good business move or not to open up White Star, and whether or not we'd still have White Star if it wasn't for the pandemic.
I miss White Star, I'm not going to lie.
I miss White Star because it was wonderful to have a market-like environment where you could go with your friends. Mm-hmm. Everybody could get whatever they wanted. It was not, some of it was more expensive than others.
You're right.
Jay was putting gold flakes into the tacos. I'm just throwing that out there. There was no gold flakes in tacos.
Miss you, Jay.
Miss you, Jay. Shout out to Jay Jacoty. But my point is, I miss that option.
Yeah.
And I worry about Red Stick Social falling prey to the same thing. If you have different restaurant concepts in there, I worry about that falling prey to the same kind of issue. Mm-hmm. Now, look at the afterbirth of White Star, though. Jay has a successful taco place.
Yes.
Government Taco.
Chow
Young Fat is killing it.
Killing it.
MJ's moved out, and they are doing well. I don't know. Can we say that there were other? Rev Coffee is now over on Perkins.
by Bistro Bar.
Oh, it's nice, too.
I haven't been over there yet.
It's real nice.
What was the pizza place in White Star?
Dino's,
Dad's?
maybe? Dad's Pizza.
Yeah, Dad's.
Like off of Houdat, sort of?
Yeah.
Did they open up, though, is what I'm asking.
I don't know if they expanded, and if you want good pizza, you've a little personal pan pizza like that, you can go to La Divina, you can go to Lit, you can go all sorts of different places. My point is, I think you're right. I think the execution's an issue. I think that the potential, though, of that business building in the depot. I've sat in a cooler weather day. I sat in the electric depot in the covered area, had some hot coffee, had some Baru, loving life. Felt secure, well lit.
Yeah.
There was a lot of foot traffic. The small Sweet Baton Rouge. Yeah. They have a sweet shop there too.
All that stuff is going to be fine. I'm talking specifically about Red Stick Social.
Right.
That space is very.
Well, I imagine it's also very expensive.
It's super expensive. But I think if they changed the way it kind of operated inside and how you can navigate the space, I think it would change everything, and it would be inviting for more people to the whole electric depot.
Can we see another White Star ever?
Well, I don't know what's the.
So a different iteration of White Star would have to involve looking at the day as not just having a great place to go to lunch. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You'd have to be able to shift the same square footage into a dinner venue and then into an entertainment venue as well. Because the problem with White Star was by 2:00 it was a ghost town.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you have a great bar, and I can't even go there after 10 o'clock.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I also liked some of the family atmosphere, like the kids' yoga.
Yeah,
and the kids' events they were doing there. They had some great. They had a good retail wine and cheese kind of place.
That place closed too?
I don't know if it's still there or not. I'm curious, and I hate to do that. I mean, I'm supposed to know these things. You know, people call me while I'm on this rant. People call me and say, "Hey, I got to go to dinner. What do you think?" Like, I'm like, "Pardon? Are you inviting me to dinner?" No. I'm just going on dinner, or I'm celebrating my anniversary. Where should I go to dinner? Like, that's what I get.
That's the persona carefully cultivated.
yeah,
Did I cultivate that?
You have cultivated over the years.
I know all the good food.
I present to you your own social media.
Pescatarian.
I present to you your own social media as Exhibit A, Your Honor.
Yeah. He might
Maybe I want to be invited sometimes. Maybe I want to come to your 40th anniversary, wedding anniversary.
Well, that's 20 years away. So
Jubin's is gone, man. Jubin's used to be my jam. Oh man, Jubin's used to be. So Jubin's is where I celebrated my engagement. Jubin's is where we did the gender reveal party. Jubin's is where my wife went into labor, like the day before a C-section. Jubin's was my special nostalgic place, kind of like my coming to America. Let's see what I did there.
I see. That's a callback.
Callback. That was my coming to America spot, and it pains me because now, like, if you think about nostalgic good restaurants, local good restaurants in Baton Rouge. Yeah, I can send you to Sullivan's. Yeah, I can send you to Ruth's. Mansour's.
I've never been to
French
Mansour's.
Market Bistro.
okay, but Mansour's.
R.I.P. Chelsea's. I still cry about it.
Well, you can go to Beer Garden and get Chelsea's food.
The grilled cheese
And
is
$2
good, but it's not the same.
And $1 tacos on Tuesdays.
And $1 tacos on Tuesdays. Yeah.
So we got about 2 minutes left.
Yeah, but Mansour's, like, for the old school Baton Rouge, used to be where Walmart is now, correct? Remember that old school shopping center where
It may have been.
Oh man, there's a whole Facebook group dedicated to old Baton Rouge, but there's
I need to
had
also do
a
an
million
episode on-
different places in there. Coffee Call was in there. Coffee Call ended up moving to the other side.
Yeah.
Mansour's was in there. The Chinese restaurant was Great Wall.
Yep.
Oh, you
I
could
miss
put a
Great
hurting
Wall.
on that place in the old school, and now it's gone. Now it's been like 8 different other buffets.
Yeah.
But when they built
Can't stay
out
alive.
Walmart and Office Depot and all the other stuff over there, they tore all that stuff down. So Mansour's on the Boulevard was Mansour's before it was Mansour's on the Boulevard.
Good place to get dinner, man.
Yeah.
I've never been.
Sullivan's is, of course, as a show sponsor. Sullivan's is one of my favorite places to get dinner.
Yeah.
However, that unique, like Jubin's had a feel to it, right? So, anyways, we're about out of time. Omar,
Yep.
happy trails, happy traveling to LA. Don't forget us Baton Rouge people.
Yeah, I'll bill you when you want me to come back on the show.
Dude, I like having a guy. I like a friend. Wow. I'll remember that if you ever need my help with anything. Hey, remember that time I let you on my show and now you've got these issues and you want my help as an attorney?
Yeah.
Retainer. So you've been listening to Geaux Rouge Show. Omar Finely, Brian Haldane.
Thank you, everybody.
This was kind of a silly, fun time today. They're not all going to be A+ episodes, Brian. This felt good. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I mean, it was fun.
I mean, you started by saying you didn't have the guests you want. You ended by saying we weren't very
It's
good.
the guests
So
I needed.
Yeah,
Not the one that I wanted. The guests I needed.
I'm feeling all the love, brother.
You should feel all of. Listen to the sweet sounds of the Geaux Rouge radio show on Talk 107.3. For more information about the show, go to www.gauxrouge.com. Maybe we'll have a show next week. I don't know. Maybe. 77 episodes. I've already told you that when I hit 100, I'm done. I'm out.
Seriously?
Out. I don't know. You were not stuff to talk about, man. I'm not Brian Haldane. I'm not Jada Cody. I'm just me, little old me. I can make it into a true crime Baton Rouge show.
I would love to see you do a.
True crime Baton Rouge show?
I would love to see you do a taco cook-off with Jada Cody.
They've already done that. They've done a taco fest.
No. You versus him in a kitchen. 30 minutes, like Top Chef style.
I'm sorry. Were we still rolling here, or did you like already stick the landing and I missed it?
See you guys next week.
I would love to see it.
You're still on Facebook.
So I think Jay would obliterate me.
No, I don't.
I think Jay would obliterate me.
You're gonna do a pescatarian.
So
taco.
I think it's only fair. You want to do that? You gotta let me work with someone who actually has culinary training and skills,
That's fine.
like Winston
That's
DeQuire,
fine.
counsel for LSU.
Yeah.
So Omar, thank you for coming in today,
Dude, thank you.
I mean, unlike Kenny, you at least responded to me.
Of course, Kenny does it all the time. Just I'm a response.
Brian, thank you for playing with us.
Always.
Thank you, Brian.
Now I got to go to Gonzales.
Come to my show next Friday at the Station Bar and Grill. It's my last performance in Baton Rouge.
About that.
I forgot.